my confident and generous Leo friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Leo, there's a particular weight you've been carrying as this week opens. It isn't always visible, even to those closest to you. It's a sense that something in your life is being measured, maybe even judged, a quiet awareness that every action, every word seems to echo a little louder right now. You might notice moments where you hesitate, holding back a reaction or a wish, because you're not sure if it will tip the scales in one direction or another. There's a subtle tension in the air, as if you're waiting for an inner verdict to arrive. It's not about guilt or innocence. It's about whether things feel right, whether you're standing on level ground, whether your heart is in agreement with your choices. Underneath, there's a longing for fairness, not just from others, but from yourself. It shows up in small ways, like the pause before you speak, the careful weighing of intentions, or the quiet questions you ask yourself late at night. This week, it's as if some part of you is searching for equilibrium, wanting to know if you've given enough, if you've been seen fully, if you're living in alignment with your own truth. You stand, this week, in the presence of justice, not as a judge, but as someone seeking harmony in a world that often feels off balance. The emotional posture you bring to this moment is one of honest self-scrutiny. There is a real effort to see yourself clearly. You may find yourself reflecting on recent choices, turning them over in your mind, testing them for integrity and clarity. It's as if you're holding up a mirror, looking not just for approval, but for truth, your own above all else. This can bring a gentle tension, the kind that arises when you care deeply about living authentically. You want your words to match your intentions. You want your actions to reflect your values. Sometimes this makes you more cautious, even a bit reserved. Other times it draws you into moments of quiet pride, when you recognize the courage it takes to be fair, both to yourself and to others. This week you may sense that certain situations are asking for your honest evaluation, relationships, responsibilities, unspoken agreements. There's a desire not to rush, to weigh things carefully, to let your inner wisdom guide you toward decisions that feel balanced. From the outside you might seem calm, but beneath that calmness is a thoughtful intensity. You want to do right by yourself and by those you love, and yet there's also a flicker of vulnerability here. The awareness that fairness isn't always rewarded, that sometimes you have to stand alone in your convictions. This is a moment of deep self-respect, of acknowledging the quiet strength it takes to hold your center even when the world is noisy and insistent. The tension you feel isn't a weakness, it's the sign of a heart that refuses to act blindly, a mind that seeks understanding before it moves forward. It's from this place of searching and weighing, Leo, that your steps into the week begin to form. The desire for balance can make you especially sensitive to the currents around you. You might notice situations shifting, conversations tilting in new directions, or familiar routines suddenly feeling off-kilter. The way you're holding yourself, carefully, reflectively, means that every encounter has a little more weight. What you choose next is shaped by this need to move with intention, to keep your sense of self intact even as the world presses in. The path ahead unfolds as a natural consequence of this inner search for equilibrium. Now, as you move through these days, the card of temperance emerges along your path. This isn't about standing still or simply maintaining the status quo. You can feel the pressures swirling around you, demands from others, shifting priorities, unexpected opportunities that ask you to rebalance what you thought was settled. There's a real momentum here, a sense that life is asking you to blend many different energies or needs at once. It might be the friction between work and rest, between caring for others and making room for your own desires, or perhaps it's the challenge of bringing together parts of your life that haven't always fit neatly. You're called to adapt, to find a middle way, but that doesn't mean folding or compromising your core. Instead, it's a dynamic process, requiring you to listen closely to your own needs even as you respond to what's unfolding around you. Some days the push and pull can feel exhausting, a tug of war between what you owe and what you long for. Other days, there's a quiet satisfaction in realizing you can hold conflicting truths, that you can bring patience and kindness to moments of stress. These pressures are not obstacles in themselves. They are invitations to keep adjusting, to notice where you might be leaning too far in one direction and gently nudge yourself back to center. The friction is real, but it is not meant to break you. It's a sign of growth, of your willingness to keep refining the balance between your inner world and the demands of your environment. This is the week where you might feel the urge to smooth rough edges, to soften conversations, or to gently blend strong opinions with understanding. The path is not linear. It twists and loops, sometimes circling back to old questions, sometimes opening up new possibilities. Through it all, your search for harmony shapes every choice, every response, every moment of pause. What becomes possible from here is not set in stone. The potential resting ahead depends on how fully you meet these moments, with honesty, with patience, with an open heart. If you move through this week only reacting, the deeper invitation may be missed. But if you engage consciously, if you let yourself be present with the tensions and the gentle adjustments, something new can unfold. In the days to come, the Knight of Cups quietly enters the story. This isn't a promise of grand gestures or sweeping emotion. Instead, it's a subtle invitation into a more heartfelt way of being. Growth arrives not through force, but through the willingness to approach each day with curiosity and openness. You might notice a softening in yourself, a readiness to express what you feel without needing to justify it, a willingness to let vulnerability guide your interactions. It's as if your desire for balance has made room for deeper longing, for a sense of romance or meaning in everyday exchanges. This potential isn't about achieving something specific, but about allowing a gentler, more imaginative spirit to surface. Where you once weighed every word, you may now find yourself speaking with greater warmth or candor. Where you once hesitated to show your softer side, you might now feel safe enough to do so. The invitation here is to let your emotional life become a source of inspiration, to move through the week not just as a seeker of fairness, but as someone willing to be touched by beauty, kindness, and possibility. This is not naivete. It is a conscious choice to let your heart lead, to bring genuine feeling into spaces that have felt weighed down by scrutiny or self-restraint. The path is open, but only if you choose to walk it with eyes and heart wide open. Looking back at the week as a whole, the journey is one of restoration and renewal. Justice brings you into honest alignment with yourself, showing you the power and vulnerability in seeking what is right. Temperance asks you to move with flexibility, to keep blending and adjusting as life unfolds, to find your own rhythm even when the world is out of sync. And the Knight of Cups offers a gentle opening, a reminder that when you meet tension with conscious presence, you create the conditions for new feeling, new connection, new inspiration. These energies do not compete, they flow into one another, forming a cycle of awareness, adjustment, and awakening. The reassurance is this: you are not lost in the struggle for balance. You are learning moment by moment to carry both strength and softness, both discernment and openness. Whatever unfolds this week, you have already shown the courage to stand in your truth and the grace to keep moving forward. Every pause, every careful step is part of a larger dance, and by the end of these days, a quiet sense of resolution is possible, not because you forced an outcome, but because you allowed yourself to meet the week with integrity and heart. In that space, you find not just answers, but a renewed trust in your own journey. Actionable insights for Leo this week. Let this week's search for balance be an invitation to try pausing before reacting, just to notice how you feel in the moment. You might gently experiment with small acts of kindness, especially in conversations where tension is present. If you find yourself longing for connection, allow yourself to share a simple feeling or thought with someone you trust. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I honor what I feel even when it's complex. Each step I take is true to me. Gentleness and strength both belong in my story. I am whole, balanced, and ready for what comes. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.